There we go. So I've titled this course Bridging into Awareness. And as we've come onto this planet, we really truly, we are at that point in time where it's time for us to understand our bodies, our minds, and our spirits, and the connection between them. The sun over the last 6 weeks has become more active, and as well as there's a whole bunch of different vibrations and frequencies that are coming into the planet that are affecting our physical and mental health. And the intention that I would like to share with you guys is how to understand not to let that confuse you, and to understand what your consciousness is, what your intuition is, and how the energy, like I know there's some of us here that have Reiki, and I know, Teresa, you are already energetically aware, so feeling the energy. So to be able to bring in what we know here and understand with the energy, that's what we're supposed to do in this lifetime, is to be able to emit that beautiful vibration of love to change the world. And we are just, if you want to think about, we're those little soldiers out in the field holding the vibration of love. Because if you look around what's happening in the media and the rest of the world, it's not happy. And it makes us sad, even though we may not see it every day. We intuitively, we feel it, and we know something's going on, even though we can't always in that moment understand what it is. So I thought I'd bring a little bit of science in and actually explain the definition of what consciousness is and what science has deemed what that is. So consciousness is a state of us being aware of our own surroundings. And like being aware doesn't just entail hearing and just seeing the tree outside. It actually is being able to see the yellow flower that's in the distance, or being able to see the red cardinal that's hidden in the trees, or the same thing with a blue jay, or an animal, a deer, something that is hiding there. It's being aware of all that. And rather than, I believe that each and every one of us has had the situation where we stop for a minute because something has gotten our attention and we don't know what it is. And in that moment, it's when we stop and look, sometimes we'll find it. Oh, there's an animal, or there's something that is trying to get our attention. And so in our conscious awareness, it's up to us to stay focused on what we're doing on a daily basis. And because the vibration of this earth has been playing this certain song for millennia, and over the last couple of years, what's happening is the song of the earth is changing. So it's changing because we're in constant motion. And this is where I'll bring a little bit of the energy stuff in. We're in constant motion. And so the earth is constantly moving through the universe. And so we're always in a different place. So right now we are going through a different part of the universe that's changing our song. And along with that, what happens is, sometimes when you listen to certain types of music, it either makes you happy, it makes you sad, it makes you anxious. You put bass in it and it could just actually mess up your whole heartbeat and everything, just depending what you're doing. So that's just a vibration of energy. So if you imagine being out in the universe and all of a sudden our planet's got this whole new energy that's coming at us. It's not just affecting the planet, it's affecting the animals, it's affecting us. So those bouts of being happy and then being sad, a lot of that has to do with the changing of frequency of energy. And often when the energy is shifting for all of us, what happens is we get spacey. We kind of get we get a little bit tired. And it's up to us to realize that what that is. Why do we feel that way all of a sudden, just out of the blue? And I know it's happening for all of you, because I know it's happening for me. All of a sudden in the middle of the day, it's kind of like, I can't keep my eyes open. And I seriously need to just stop for a few minutes, take a few breaths, and whoa, what is this? And when I bring myself back to what is this, I see that the colors are brighter, or something in my world. There'll be a message that comes in from somebody, whether it's a text message, whether it's something that I hear in my intuition, something is trying to get my attention. And there's a little meme out there. I actually added it on one of the advertisements that we did. And it actually shows a person, but it also shows a spirit talking to that person. And what it had said was, sometimes when we think we're thinking, we're actually listening. We're listening to what either spirit, the trees, the universe, our ancestors, our angels, aliens, all of that stuff. We're listening to something. And I know every one of you, and I know that that's happened for you guys. It's happening for me more and more than it ever has in the last 15 years. It's way more profound. And I know Sandy can say the same thing because, we're sisters. We've, look at that. We even both got blue on today. Didn't even see each other. I just noticed that. Again, we have the same color on. But it's because it's the vibration we're picking up. This color truly is the throat and the higher heart chakra. So again, intuitively, I wanted to wear, I actually had orange on, and then it's like, no, I had to change and put blue on because the throat chakra is about speaking, right? So we all intuitively do things no matter what. So a part of consciousness comes into, like, intuition is a part of our consciousness. And so I went and found the definition for what is that word again? Intuition. And what it says is it's going with one's first instincts. Let me bring it up here so I can read it. And reaching decisions quickly based on an automatic cognitive process. So all that happens in your little machine without you even understanding. And so again, when we have that first instinct, when we walk into a place and it's like, oh, I like this place or I don't like this place, we need to learn to respect that even more in our conscious awareness of that. Keeps us out of trouble. It also will even show you, well, this is interesting, or it makes me feel happy when I look this way. I think I'm going to try this little experiment, or I'm going to try to go do something out of my norm. And oftentimes because it's such a beautiful feeling here, or such a fun feeling, it turns out to be a beautiful thing. And look back in your own lives and see how that's affected you. When you've decided, well, I really don't want to go do that, but I went and did it anyway. Or you try to repeat, oh, last year I had such a great time at this. I would love to go do that again. And really, how often does that happen that it's just as magical and perfect? And it's a beautiful thing for us to be able to look back, because hindsight in our life is 20/20, especially when we start looking at consciousness and intuition. And the last thing is energy. And energy is what we need in our lives in order to survive. And, whatever that is, whether food is energy, clothes are energy, money is energy, work is energy, everything is energy. So when you see those advertisements, everything is energy, it really truly is. Even as far as my glasses have energy, everything is different. So when you keep that in mind as well, our mental activity is caused by taking in energy. And it depends where you choose to take in your energy. And there's no wrong answers in any of this. We need to have experiences in order for us to have a rounded life and for our own soul evolution. So there's another thing that we bring into energy, just to take it one step further. It's called human energy. And human energy is something that we can't always see, but we feel it. And with our rational mind, we get confused because our rational mind can't see it. Our linear thinking human brain thinks, okay, energy, energy, or stuff that we feel in our hands, why can't we see it? Well, there's a lot of people that do. People that, if we're not seeing it yet, we have filters. And we have filters only because we came in to learn these lessons. And as we learn the lessons, the filters get taken away. And every time that you try to do something little by little, it kind of builds a little highway. So sometimes, like when you started to do meditation, it might have been hard to start with, and then all of a sudden it gets easier. And then eventually all of a sudden you can just intend to meditate, and you can bring your breathing, everything will just come into alignment for you. So it's about practice. But once you have that skill developed, it's an amazing, amazing, beautiful thing. So I'm going to pause here for